break the good news to everyone we meet. Let's take the good news and shout it in the street. Let's break the good news, though it seems too good to be true, that you'll soon marry me and I'll soon marry you. And we're gonna take a honeymoon cruise. Let's break the good news.
Hello everybody again. So I finished with the mast painting for William Hurd's, the BBC mast at Crystal Palace, and so I needed another job. So I consulted the Oracle, that being the Evening News adverts, and I found myself another job, a firm in South London called Latimer's, and it was a gasometer in Battersea Power Station. I was painting that. So that was alright. Yeah, you did it out of a bosun's chair. You went down the outside of the gasometer in a bosun's chair. And with a group, it wasn't just me, there was a group of us. There was probably 5, 6 of us. Anyway, when that was done, we moved on to bridges. We painted 2 bridges across the Thames. So that was okay. That took up a few months. And then they had some pylons to paint. It was a line of pylons in Essex, and being as I was used to climbing the masts, television masts, it was ideal to me, and it weren't so high. It was only about 125 feet. But I painted a load of them, a real line, a big line going right through Essex, and that job finished then. We didn't have another line to do. So they gave me a job, the same company gave me a job painting an Air Force base. Decorating an Air Force, it weren't decorating, it was just toshing, just painting an Air Force base. I even forget where it was, I think it was Salisbury or somewhere like that. So I was doing that come to an end, that job, and I was a bit loose, didn't know what to do. So I met a bloke who was out of work, and we bought a truck together, a 3-ton truck. And we went scrounging round the streets for old iron and air raid shelters. And there was air raid shelters up as sheds. People had them up as sheds. They dug them out of the garden themselves and had them up as sheds. And there was some even in the ground that we dug out. We dug them out of the ground. Yeah.
Yes.
And that was okay. Going round, we went round all round England, Exeter, you name it, we was there. Where there was any air raid shelters, we was driving around, collecting air raid shelters, buying air raid shelters for so much, and collecting old iron from. We used to go down the street. I used to knock one side of the street, my mate used to knock the other side of the street, all the houses. Any old iron you want to get rid of, any crap you want to get rid of out of the garden. But we only used to take the iron, we didn't used to take any crap. So that was that. And then we had the idea that where people had them up as sheds, they may like a nice wooden shed, a nice new wooden shed. So we got some brochures of wooden sheds. So on our way round, when we see an air raid shelter that's up in someone's garden as a shed, we approached them and said, would you like a nice new wooden shed in replace for your old air raid shelter? No money, nothing. We just take the air raid shelter away and we deliver you a new garden shed. And you'd be surprised how many people fell for it. They let us take the old Anderson shelter shed down Obviously, we never went back with a new shed. That was out of the question. But that was just one little scam. And that went on, and I was doing that for maybe more than a year. You know, maybe 18 months or something like that. Meanwhile, we didn't go to work on a Monday, but I drove somebody else's tipper lorry up to Doncaster, a place called Demoulders, and it was all full of bones. This firm used to go round the butcher's shop collecting the bones, and then on a Monday they loaded up the 5-ton tipper truck, and I took it for £10. I drove it all the way up to Doncaster and back for £10 on my day off from going round the streets. So that was that. That went all right. That went all right. I've done a nice few trips of that. Stinking, but it was £10. I had to do anything. With 4 boys, I had to do anything to get some money. So that was okay for a while. It went on, and after a while it got a bit scarce to try and get the iron. The price of it all went down. The light iron and the steel, it all took a knock, like from where we used to take it into the main dealers. And in the end, I sold the lorry. I sold the lorry and went back painting, decorating on new properties. There was new houses being built, and a firm that I knew that I worked for years before, I got a job with them painting new houses. Anyway, that's all for now. I'll carry on later. Bye for now.
Let's break the good news to everyone we meet. Let's take the good news and shout it in the street. Let's break the good news, though it seems too good to be true, that you'll soon marry me and I'll soon marry you, and we're gonna take a honeymoon cruise. Let's break the good news.